the organic tomato and plant food by Vigoro. It is kelp meal with microbes, feeds the soil. Really good stuff, guys. We're just putting 1 or 2 spoons in the beds. There are recommend dosage and different things, you know. Early morning, I want to show you guys the bottom of the worm bin real quick, how they're getting in. And if you see those holes right there, those are the worms that are coming in the ground in to eat the food. Early morning, I want to show you guys the bottom of the worm bin real quick, how they're getting in. And if you see those holes right there, those are the worms that are coming in the ground in to eat the food. This is one of my beds with the homemade soil that's made out of compost and leaves. There is a little more leaves that haven't broken down yet, but the soil is decent, as you see. And this is going to grow my green beans and peppers. This is just bricks, and it's in the ground and above ground bed. It's actually dug in the ground a little bit. And this was the soil that was made from the compost. Old roots, everything. Now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries, got some old banana peels, sweet, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. Quick video of my worm bin. Right here I have a worm bin, and at the bottom we do have holes drilled out, and we're going to be feeding it right now. Is how we feed it. Now this worm bin is just leaves, mulch, compost. Early morning, I want to show you guys the bottom of the worm bin real quick, how they're getting in. And if you see those holes right there, those are the worms that are coming in the ground in to eat the food. This is one of my beds with the homemade soil that's made out of compost and leaves. There is a little more leaves that haven't broken down yet, but the soil is decent, as you see. And this is going to grow my green beans and peppers. This is just bricks, and it's in the ground and above ground bed. It's actually dug in the ground a little bit. And this was the soil that was made from the compost. Old roots, everything. Now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries, got some old banana peels, sweet, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. This is one of my beds with the homemade soil that's made out of compost and leaves. There is a little more leaves that haven't broken down yet, but the soil is decent, as you see. And this is going to grow my green beans and peppers. This is just bricks, and it's in the ground and above ground bed. It's actually dug in the ground a little bit. And this was the soil that was made from the compost. Old roots, everything. Now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit. And then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries. Got some old... Quick video of my worm bin. Right here I have a worm bin, and at the bottom we do have holes drilled out. And we're going to be feeding it right now is how we feed it. Now, this worm bin is just leaves, mulch, compost. This is the organic tomato and plant food by Vigoro. It is kelp meal with microbes, feeds the soil. Really good stuff, guys. We're just putting 1 or 2 spoons in the beds. There are recommend doses. Early morning, I want to show you guys the bottom of the worm bin real quick, how they're getting in. And if you see those holes right there, those are the worms that are coming in the ground in to eat the food.
Hello guys, welcome to the I Am Green Giant podcast. This is a live podcast where we talk about making our own food, making our own soil, and making our own nutrients. Welcome to the I Am Green Giant podcast, and I am Green Giant. Thank you guys for showing up. If you're new here, like, subscribe, hit the bell. We're trying to hit 1K by tonight or tomorrow. Well, in the next couple of days, we'll get it anyway. Rome wasn't built in a day, and either is your garden bed. So let's get to it. If you guys saw a couple of the videos that I just dropped of clips, you guys can see how we made our mulch, our soil. Also, we made some bone meal and some biochar to amend our soil with oysters, crab shells, and bones and egg shells and stuff like that, even coffee grinds. So we mixed all that type of stuff together and amended all our soil beds. We're going to be wrapping up all of our soil situations and explaining everything we can before we get to Wednesday. So you guys can come back Wednesday on our 8 o'clock live stream, and we're going to be talking about nutrients. We're going to talk about soil again. We're going to be talking about germination and success in general. And we'll probably be talking about IPM on the next one, which is integrating pest management, guys. Thank you guys all for showing up. What's good, everybody? What's good? Homegrown Synganics. Cheers, bro. Check this out. Check out these videos, bro. Check out these clips.
Now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit. And then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries. Got some old banana peels, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. Early morning, I want to show you guys the bottom of the worm bin real quick, how they're getting in. And if you see those holes right there, those are the worms that are coming in the ground in to eat the food. 1 week later, 1 week. 1 week later. 1 week later, the tomato is on its first ring, and it is almost a foot tall. Now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries. Got some old banana peels. Quick video of my worm bin. Right here I have a worm bin, and at the bottom we do have holes drilled out. This is one of my beds with the homemade soil that's made out of compost and leaves. There is a little more leaves that haven't broken down yet, but the soil is decent, as you see. And this is going to grow my green beans and peppers. This is just bricks, and it's in the ground and above ground bed. It's actually dug in the ground a little bit. And this was the soil that was made from the compost. Old roots, everything.
Cheers, guys. Thank you for coming to the show tonight, guys. Thank you guys for checking out the stream. Want to give a shout out to Synganics for showing up. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. We're making some organic soil outside, and excuse me, we're trying to get our nutrients and everything all right and our soil amended so we can just put our vegetables in the ground and be ready to go. So that's what we have been up to. I hope you guys like those clips that I just dropped. And if you have any questions or any comments on how to help me maybe make my mix a little better, drop the comments, guys. Drop the comments. I'm going to be trying maybe some fish. I've been hearing stories about people doing a trial and error where you put one plant with a can of sardines underneath it, one plant with regular soil, and the one that has the can of sardines or the rotten salmon or even an egg, a whole egg, not even crushed. I've seen people stick it in the soil. I've seen people crush an egg and put it in the soil and then plant your plant. Sounds odd, but it works. Also, kiwis work because they have a lot of potassium. So would bananas, but remember, it would bring a lot of bugs. So I think I'm going to do a couple of plants with some salmon or maybe some sardines underneath the soil and see the difference in the pepper plants, which one grew a little faster. I've been doing a lot of organic testing, and also it's going to add nutrients to the soil, guys. So that's what we've been working on. Thank you for showing up, Synganics. If you're new here, anyone who's just sliding through the stream, hit that like button. Good vibes only over here. Talk about growing content, making your own soil, growing your own food, cooking your own food, going right from your garden to your table. That's how we want to do it, guys. We want to grow our own food, stir fry our zucchini, our peppers, whatever we got, throw it in a dish and eat right out of our garden with some pasta. That's more than enough calories to survive, knowing that the economy is getting bad. Eggs, meat, dairy products, things that we have got used to eating as being a program society. Those are our staples. We're going to have to go back to basics, baking our own bread, cooking our own vegetables, making everything from scratch. Instead of buying a can of vegetables that is cooked, boiled, and ready to go, you're going to have to grow your vegetables, wash it, boil it, and then consume it. But thank you guys all for sliding through the stream, man. I've been streaming a couple of times today, and it's going pretty well. StreamYards is kind of different, but it's the same, you know? So same, but different. You guys know that term from Thailand? Same, but different. But anyway, guys. So tomorrow I wanted to also be going over watering, preparing your water. It's going to be very critical that the water that you feed your plants is clean. Right now, I'm just hosing for the garden, is getting pure chlorine water. But when I grew them in the seed trays for their whole sprout lane, their whole life, not only did they get nutrients, but they got fresh, clean, oxygenized, dechlorinized water. They even got bottled water sometimes because we had a couple of cases of expired water that we ended up using for the garden to start off the seeds, to start off my peppers and stuff like that. It gives them a better start than using chlorine water. That's just my point of view. There's a lot less pathogens in the water if it's clean, if it's detoxed. There's just a lot of stuff you can do to your water. So on episode 2, season 1, which will be this Wednesday at 8 o'clock, guys, don't forget to tune in Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Tune in, put the bell on. You guys come back, check out the live stream. We're going to be talking about bubbling your water and how to use your pH bend and how to differ your cocoa when you feed or to differ your organics. There's different numbers for different things, and with your organics, I've really noticed that you got to keep it at a 6.5 at all the time. You want to be close to that area so it gets all the nutrients at all time. The only time you want to bring it up to a 7 is towards the end of the grow. But anyway, guys, we'll go over that when I go over the video about making your water, guys. You're going to bubble your water 5 gallons or 4 gallons at a time, and you're going to treat your water with water treatment. They sell a couple of different water conditioner. They sell water treatment. They sell chlorine remover. They sell the one that I buy is a small bottle for about 14 bucks, and it removes toxins in the water, plant pathogens, water and plant pathogens. So any toxic plant disease that could potentially be in your tap water, it will remove it. This is used for fish tanks. This is used for aquatic plants. So they sell a bottle of it in the fish store. You buy that. It's used for aquatic plants. You'll see the one that says aquatic plants removes toxic chemicals in water, plant pathogens, and dechlorinize. That's the one you want. I used to use 2 different types. I used to use the dechlorinizer, the pathogen, the one that adds vitamins. I used to use, because they have 2 different types actually. And I may go to the fish store, and we're going to do a video later on in the week, maybe if I have some time, and I'll show you guys what type of stuff you should be adding a couple of drops to your gallons of water if you're using tap water, because there's technically nothing wrong with tap water as long as you treat it. There are metals and there are toxins in. There's so many things in tap water. There's medication, there's metals, there's lead. I mean, it goes on and on. There's traces of so many different things. It gets crazy, but which is why you want to treat your water with the little drops with toxins. And also, if you have a water filter at home, before you use your water, we have a couple of different water filters we use. Some people use the pure handheld. I see that as a lot of time, doing half a gallon at a time, purifying your water, and then still, because it's just purified, it's not distilled. But it still helps. You're purifying and cleaning the water, but you could get a pure for your sink and use filtered water from your sink and then dechlorinize it and then bubble it. Bubble it for 24 hours, and then we'll go on from there. I just want to talk about water, so you guys know Wednesday what we're going to be talking about and what's really critical. Feeding the plants at a young age, just get them on a schedule, know when they're about 2 to 3 weeks, start feeding them. My tomato plant's been eating like crazy. They're strong. They're super strong. So I'm going to be feeding them again. I top dressed them. So since we fed last week, we top dressed this week, and we've been watering. Now after they suck up all this water, their next feeding will be just nutrients, will be a liquid feed. So when they dry up, it's the same concept. Any type of area where you're growing, once it dries, humidity, if you add the soil again, it's going to constantly suck up. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to wet the soil, watch it dry. You never want to overwater, and you never want to underwater. I have a problem with underwatering my plants. When you underwater, sometimes your plants stretch. It's not overwatering from stretch. When you underwater, your plants die. And depending the situation, depending the strain, it could be vice versa. Some plants can handle more water. So, you could underwater and the plants could stretch. You could underwater and the plants couldn't grow. You could underwater and the plants could die. You could underwater and the plants could live fine. Some plants live fine without water. Aloe plants, A lot of cactus plants, pineapple plants don't need a lot of water. There's certain type of plants that really don't and will still survive without it. Even tomatoes. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. You cannot water a tomato plant for 2-3 weeks. It will be still in great condition. So you got to learn feeding and everything you can. You got to learn off that plant. If it's a tomato plant, you know, I'm starting to read my tomato plants, and that's what you need to do is basically read your garden, know what grows together great in your garden. Like me, we only grow what we eat, and we do a mixture in every garden. We do a little basil, a little tomato, and then we also do a couple of squashes here and there. We got some onions. We got some green beans that are going to grow on a little metal trellis, but that's going to be about it. We grow what we eat. We keep it in a small little area. I only have 2 or 3 little beds, 1 3x3 bed. I also have a couple of barrels, but I do have 20 pots all nice and set up. Really, really nice with, you know, different things in every pot. I got tomatoes, peppers in one. I got aloe. We grow a lot of aloe. I make aloe drinks. I'll show you guys how beautiful my aloe is. I have a tropical aloe. There are many different types of aloe. So I have a tropical aloe, and it's growing in very subtropical, trying to survive. But it grows great, and it throws little. I had to separate it the year before last because it had 24 little aloes growing around it. The more you separate them, the more they grow. The bigger they'll grow, the longer they'll live. Because all the little ones are feeding off any nutrients or any moisture when it's dry off the big mother. So yeah, we got aloe. What else do we got? We got these crossbreed peppers. We got some small tomatoes from Italy. We got like 3 types of tomatoes growing. And if you guys stick through the channel, if you guys got this far through the podcast, thank you very much for listening. I am Green Giant. This is the I Am Green Giant podcast. And definitely, guys, hit the bell for notifications. Slide through on the live. Check out the shorts. A lot of my videos, I used a lot of my food from the gardens. All the sweet potatoes, all the peppers came from the garden. That's why you see a lot of sweet potatoes in my videos instead of regular potatoes. That's what we had access to. Those were the peppers that we used. And believe me, almost all year we ate good. I just ripped up the last dead vine of sweet potato, and it's already, that was sweet potato was from a year and a half ago that was still alive. So my pepper, I'm re-vegging. I've had a pepper plant for 2 years. We're re-vegging that, and I started feeding it. I noticed I trimmed all the dead leaves off. I noticed yesterday there's dozens of leaves. So when you think the plant's dead, it's not. I also, if you guys ever get Brussels sprouts and like Brussels sprouts, I can give you some really cool advice how you can grow them. When you're done eating the Brussels sprout, and if you buy the whole Brussels sprout, so I buy the whole thing. And if you get those, once you're done eating all the Brussels sprouts off, if you plant that in the ground, it will grow. You have to do it in the cold. You can't put it in the summer. It will melt it. Bugs will eat it. You put it in the cold in the wintertime in the ground when the ground thaws. And when it gradually warms up, the plant comes back to life and starts sprouting. That main piece will start sprouting little Brussels sprouts. So I got Brussels sprouts growing. What else do we have? We have a lot. We have more than enough. And everything's in a little stage. I have some really nice sweet basil, like 3 types of peppers. We have 4 types of green beans that we're going to be. Last year I had a lot of trouble with the green beans because the soil's really not that good. So this year I did a raised bed with really wet mulch and soil, and let's see if I can grow some inside there in a sandy situation. Thank you guys for sliding through the stream. We are eventually Gonna do some really cool videos. I'm trying to figure out. I'm gonna get some advice from you guys and figure out what would you guys see. What I do is I grow what I eat. I tried to grow some dragon fruit. I lost the seeds that I had, even though I was growing them. Um, they're hard. They start from a little seed, they become a cactus. It's really cool, the process. It starts as a plant and then it becomes a cactus. It's really, really cool. Um, so I want to do some dragon fruit, and I think I got some kiwis that may pop up. Really hard to do, and some apple seeds. And I think I'd be done with everything that I'm doing because I have avocado trees too. I need to separate this year and either put them in the ground or put them in individual buckets. They're 3 to 4 feet high. I have about 6 or 8 of them, and I have like 6 growing in one bucket. And then I have a couple of other individuals. So I either want to put the avocado trees all on the ground, and I think they'll live season after season, honestly. And the ones that I have in the buckets are flowering right now, so they may throw avocados this year. Only thing is when I move them, this is why I have to permanently, they're getting so big that every time I move my avocado trees in the big buckets in the 5-gallon or 25-gallon pots, the roots are in the ground. So they want to get out that. They're ready to get out of that pot. They're basically being root bound. So I need to cut them out. I need to cut them out of the buckets and put them all in the ground, which is going to be fun. And I was thinking not even separating them because I have 6 that are growing in one bucket and just putting them in the ground and seeing what happens. I hope they don't die. I don't think they will. But we did have some mangoes that we had some mango trees that died. They couldn't handle that frozen, that cold snow. All the banana trees died. My neighbors had a bunch of banana trees. They all died. And they may come back, but they got to come back again. And that's going to take 6 months or a year. And then if you get another frost next year, it does it again to them. So they got to be protected and covered. Your tropical trees at all times. Avocados, your fruit trees. Thanks everybody for watching the stream, sliding through. I appreciate it. And then that's it. I showed you guys the beginning how I started off, how I sowed my seeds right into soil. I use regular seeds. Sometimes you can cut some of this to help the seeds pop, but as long as they're in the right temperature, sometimes I'll cut my pumpkin seeds or my squash or my zucchini seeds so the water gets in them. But sometimes if you do that, it doesn't build up enough pressure. So what happens is it gets hot, moisture, pressure, the seed pops. But we go right into soil on the seed trays. And actually, when I did my seed trays, I ran air hoses in the seed trays to make sure that they grew nice roots before I put them in the garden. When I mean I have a video show you guys on my shorts, I lifted up the seed tray. It was only about 2 weeks, and they were ready to go outside already. And I grew them just on a little shelf with a cheap little light, nothing special, because they're going to go outside and grow the rest of their life. And on that rack, I did 5 flats, like 50 plants, and then each little thing had like 10 little pepper seeds in each plant anyway. So I have way too many peppers this year, which is good because I can get rid of the stragglers and then just go with the real big ones. And you can plant train your peppers to grow a bunch of peppers at the top, which is what I usually do. Is I trim all the bottom leaves and continue to trim the bottom leaves as it grow. And I just You just trim the bottom, and the more leaves you take off the bottom, the more the top grows. And then you cut the top too. Actually, you square off the top, and then you continue. You take off some of the leaves, and you leave just a little bush in the middle. And when they flower, it throws little bouquets. Little bouquet. They do that technique in agriculture too for the big farms. So whenever you go to like Home Depot, whenever you go to Lowe's, you'll see the plants that are. They train those pepper plants to look the way they look. They top them, they top them, they top them, so they look like little bushes. You go in there and buy them, you're like, wow, that's a nice little pepper bush. It attracts you right away. And that's plant training. That's the same thing they're doing. It, if you pinch the one top or break it off, like I have one little pepper plant that broke and it topped itself. It had two tops. And then I pinched those tops. Now it has 8 tops. It's beautiful. And the pepper plant, I know that one's going to be a little bush. And then what I'll do is take every single leaf off the bottom and leave it be. Let it go into vegetation. Cheers. Homegrown Synganic in the house. What's good, everybody? If you're new here, hit the bell for notifications. This is the I Am Green Giant live stream. Good vibes only over here. We talk about a lot about gardening. We talk about a lot about educational growing, agriculture, and just growing vegetables and just education in general. So good vibes. We're a growing community and we're growing. So if you're new here and you're watching, hit that bell for notifications, like, subscribe, share. We are on our way to 1K, guys. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Hasn't even been a year. We got 1K. 1K, guys. Let's go. Let's go. So once again, guys, if you guys are watching this stream after the whole stream's over and you made it to this far, I always say thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. Shout outs for all you guys that showed up, my new, my old subs, and hit the bell for notifications. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, support the community. We are an agricultural and growing community, and we believe in growing, eating food, and being healthy in general. Lowering my blood pressure and being healthy and gardening is a great key, guys. It's a great key. I fast and I eat healthy now, and I have no medical problems. But there is some times where I get on a binge and, start buying pints of ice cream every week, and maybe I'll have a beer, and, that's really not good for you. Or maybe I'll drink about a 6-pack of soda and drink soda every day instead of a bottle of water. That's my main issues. I don't drink enough water, but you got to eat healthy. Once you change your diet, you start putting gardening into your life. It's free. You can do it on your porch. You can get the seeds for free. You can grow it in some soil. You can feed it, and it's it's stress relieving. It's good to show to your friends. People are like, "Wow, you grew those peppers. Wow, that's really cool." So it's something you want to do. Gardening also is a big stress relief. It's good for PTSD. It's good for stress in general. It's good to ease the mind. And you're being one with nature, Once you're one with nature, when you can just sit outside with your no shoes on, relax, plant your gardening, and you're not thinking about no worries in the world. I planted over 150 peppers in different pots in my beds and counted. It was literally 150. And I had to stop counting. It was crazy. I was just putting them everywhere. And I sat down after about 3 or 4 hours, picked up my phone and was like, why did I even pick up my phone? I had my coffee. It was about 3 hours went by. And I did not think about nothing but transplanting my plants, getting my little peppers, pruning the bottoms of the tomatoes now that they're big enough, take a couple of leaves off, force them to start growing bigger. Same thing with the peppers, take a couple of leaves off the bottoms. And they're ready to go. Save those leaves, throw them in the mulch pit. So I did that for 3 hours, and it felt like about an hour. It felt like an hour, guys. And get your hands in the soil, get your feet on the ground, get grounded, hear the birds, breathe in the city and the trucks and the cars that drive by, and no, I'm just kidding. Breathe some fresh air and outside, hear the birds, and get one with nature as you're doing it. And then you're learning as you go. You're like, I know now when I remove my seed trays, I'm super careful, because the less shock you can put on your little peppers and tomatoes when you're trying to get food. So the less shock you put your plant through, the faster you can get good results, right? So when you transplant it, you don't want to do like I did and just rip it out sometimes. Take your time. Have like a little spoon. I use a Dairy Queen spoon, or like even a butter knife works good, or something like that, because you can cut your square out and pull them out of your cell trays. However you make sure you grab the roots and plant them. And that's what I did when I planted. And I popped my cell trays. I showed you guys how they popped out in one of my videos. They pop out so easy, full of roots. That goes right in the soil. And after that, I fed them and let them go. And you guys will see, like I said, stick around for about another 2 or 3 weeks, and you will see all the tomatoes. They're huge. They are huge. One of them, I didn't measure it, but I'm thinking it's about like at the 2 foot, 1.5 foot already. Seriously. And I think they're 55 days old. Is somewhere where we're at tomorrow. 55-day old. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming to the stream. Like, support, share. Support is free. This is going to be one of the last late night streams. We're dropping this so you guys know what's going on. Cheers. What's up? If you just popped in, like, subscribe, and share. I am Green Giant. This is the podcast. We talk a lot about growing, gardening. We got good vibes only, and we have a lot of cool people over here. It also is 21 and up, so hopefully you're an adult. If not, you got to kick rocks. So anyway, guys, have a great day. Have a great night wherever you at, wherever you've been, wherever you're going to be. But this is going to be our live stream, and this is how it's going to go. We're going to be educating. We're going to be elevating. We're going to be motivating, guys. And that's it, straight up. And we got good vibes over here. We're going to be doing simple videos, how to make nutrition, how to use your scraps for nutrition, for your outdoor gardening, vegetable garden, stuff like that. If you made it all the way, like I said, to the end of the video, like, subscribe, and share. I hope it was interesting to you. I hope you learned a couple of things. Like I always say, if you have any advice for me, drop a comment, like, subscribe, share. If you could make my gardening better and want to give me some tips, by all means, drop a tip in there and tell me what's going on. You know what I mean? Let me know. Say, hey, you ever tried this? Because sometimes in the community, we need people to start sharing different elements and different things that work for us. Not all good things need to be kept quiet. Not all special learning gardening skills are actually skills. They're acquired over time. And over time, you develop skills. And that's how you end up being a great gardener or grower. And it's kind of funny, because a lot of people don't realize that they have the skill and they don't use it. And then the people that say they don't have the skill, they have it, they're just not homing in on their skills, zooming in on the really main part of it, or they're overthinking it. You got to go back to basics. I say that on my channel all the time. Go back to basics, guys. Make it easier for you. Learn the basics simple way, because when you go back to basics, when you go back to simple growing knowledge, gardening, feeding, watering, it changes. It changes. Everything changes when you learn a schedule and learn what it needs, and learn, oh, I may have overwatered today. I should not water again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, So let your plants dry back. Your gardens outdoors need to be watered. At least 2 times a day minimum spray. A lot of plants need to be a light minimum water 2 times a day. Your outdoor garden during the heat, depending what season, what time of the year, your outdoor garden will evaporate a lot of water. It will come to the point where you'll need to, if you don't water 2 times a day, you will actually be losing your peppers and tomatoes. Maybe we should put some clips and music. It gets people in here. It said my people are on at certain times. So cheers, cheers. This should bring people.
Quick video of my worm bin. Right here I have a worm bin, and at the bottom we do have holes drilled out, and we're going to be feeding it right now. Is how we feed it. Now this worm bin is just leaves, mulch, compost. Now in this video I'm going to wet it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries, got some old banana peels, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. Now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries, got some old banana peels, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. This is one of my beds with the homemade soil that's made out of compost and leaves. There is a little more leaves that haven't broken down yet, but the soil is decent, as you see. And this is going to grow my green beans and peppers. This is just bricks, and it's in the ground and above ground bed. It's actually dug in the ground a little bit. And this was the soil that was made from the compost. Old roots, everything. In this video right here, I have some bones and eggshells and oyster shells, and I'm gradually, it takes a while, but put on safety glasses, I'm breaking it all down. is the organic tomato and plant food by Vigoro. It is kelp meal with microbes, feeds the soil. Really good stuff, guys. We're just putting 1 or 2 spoons in the beds. There are recommend dosage and different things, you know. So they're broken down, guys. You see the powder, the fine. This is the oyster meal, guys. This is kind of how you want it right here. Really fine grain. This is the oyster meal, guys. This is kind of how you want it right here. Really fine granules. This is the bone meal, crab meal, and I added biochar, which is halfway burned wood right here. So this is what it should look like. Take out all your big chunks and use this. It's like gold, full of minerals. This is one of my beds.
Yo, what's good?
On this video, I'm gonna wet it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries. Got some old banana peels, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil.
Yo, what's up, Kush? What's going on? Puff, puff, hey, what? Cheers, good Kush in the house. Dropping like flies, they're dropping like flies. Usually that's it, but you guys come in and out. Drop videos and show you guys some of the things that I'm making, and tell me what you guys think. Drop a comment.
This is one of my beds with the homemade soil that's made out of compost and leaves. There is a little more leaves that haven't broken down yet, but the soil is decent, as you see. And this is going to grow my green beans and peppers. This is just bricks, and it's in the ground and above ground bed. It's actually dug in the ground a little bit. And this was the soil that was made from the compost. Old roots, everything. Now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries. Got some old banana peels, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. This is the organic tomato and plant food by Vigoro. It is kelp meal with microbes, feeds the soil. Really good stuff, guys. We're just putting 1 or 2 spoons in the beds. There are recommend dosage and different things. Early morning, I want to show you guys the bottom of the worm bin real quick, how they're getting in. And if you see those holes right there, those are the worms that are coming in the ground in to eat the food. Quick video of my worm bin. Right here I have a worm bin, and at the bottom we do have holes drilled out. And we're going to be feeding it right now is how we feed it. Now, this worm bin is just leaves, mulch, compost.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming to the live stream. And it's been great. We're just brushing up on how we made the mulch pit, how we made the soil, how we got our worm bin combined with our mulch pit so we can feed our outdoor beds. But thank you guys for supporting. And like I always say at the end of the show, guys, and if you made it this far through, thank you guys so much for watching a couple of the clips. And even if you just bounced around, I appreciate that. And if you're learning something, or if you could give me some advice, you know, creative criticism is really great. And also, if there's anything you think I could add to my mulch bin that could help with microbes, let me know. I am throwing fruits and vegetables in there, and we are being very successful with creating a very dark, black, rich soil. So thank you guys so much for coming to the show. Like I always say, once again, if you made it this far, hit that bell, like, subscribe, and share. I am Green Giant, and this is the I Am Green Giant podcast, signing out. Once again, like I always say, nothing easy is going to be good, and nothing good is easy. Peace out.